All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth, and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, pushing and get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. And what I want to get into, all right, this morning, is just to pay a tribute, okay, and honor to, High Priest Ariah. Now, we, especially as younger brothers, okay, we, never met the man, we didn't personally know him, a lot of us brothers, okay, but our apostles and elders, knew him, greatly, and we know of him through them. And not only do we know of him through, their stories that they tell us, but his labors in which, we've benefited from as a body, and at the end of the day, we believe in the spirit that Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to have mercy on that man, and that he's a great spirit, okay, they came to the earth to complete a mission, for Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay, and now his mission is complete. All right, and now he's taking his place amongst the great men, the great spirits whom the Lord has created, And what I want to start off with is Sirach 44:1. All right, hey, 144. Okay. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us. Okay? And one thing about the scriptures is we read and we see the customs of our forefathers. There was a high reverence for particular men, for the forefathers, for the men that labored. Okay? And it said, let us praise men and our fathers that begot us, man. Because these men begot us in the spirit. High Priest Ariah, okay, he played a part in grooming our apostles and elders. He begot those men, and those men begot us, man. We're receiving the benefits of other men's labors. We've entered other men's labors, and we have to reverence that. And that should take away pride, Jake. Learn a few precepts, get called the elder on the comment board and go crazy, man. Get talking sideways and proud, but like, nah, man, like the Lord, brought us into something that was established, man. As younger brothers, we was brought into something that was established, man. Okay? That's why there's a particular way, there's a particular doctrine that should be taught. And another thing with Jake, like there's a lot of things we can't even speak on. We have no say-so in the matter. That's above us, man. That's why, but that's even in our culture, younger men won't speak on particular matters, dealing, with elders, man. And we're going to get that in the scriptures, man. And King David was a perfect example of that, man. Now, let's go here. Okay, because he was a man that had the nation in mind as he was laboring. He had the nation in mind as he was laboring. So when you go to Sirach 24:33, it says, I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy and leave it until all ages, and he was a man that was heavy in the prophecy. Okay, his spirit was heavy in prophecy, and he poured out his doctrine, and it's been left to the ages, all right, after him. We're teaching things that he had the spirit had him to labor for, man. Before Google, okay? Before, we had these devices and information was at our fingertip. Those men had to labor, on a whole nother level, man. Even our apostles and elders, they had to labor with a different, type of tedious and strenuous, process, man. Okay, to put together the doctrine, the Hebrew that we speak, the salutes, the 12 tribes chart, really having to study books and go into history, and the Spirit was dealing with them and toiling. Verse 34 says, "Behold, that I have not labored for myself alone, but for all them that seek wisdom." Because everyone is benefiting off High Priest Ariel's labor. Okay? The labors of, his father, High Priest Yahweh, King Masha, all the elders that came before us, the labor, we're benefiting. And you go here, let's get this in Sirach. And get this in the book of, Sirach Proverbs. Let's get this in Proverbs 13, This is the book of Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22. It says, "A good man leaving an inheritance to his children's children." You see? And then the Spirit, like, we are his children's children, because he played a part in rearing up, the elder apostles of today in the Spirit, and those men reared us up, man, with teachings and doctrines, that the Spirit gave to High Priest Ariel, so he didn't leave us physical substance, but he left us something greater, man. His labor left us something greater, which is a portion of the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. The knowledge of the ancient. This is back in Proverbs 13 and 22. "A good man leaving an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just." So what he did, had a ripple effect in the spirit of generations to come. And this is just a tribute and a thing of honor. Now, I want to get two accounts, just dealing with the mindset of our forefathers, man. Yep. Now I want to get this in 2nd Maccabees, and pretty much is our forefathers speaking, of the labor that it took. Like, we read these books and we able to, get on camera and edify, and you go into the Maccabees, and then you're able to go into the history, share your screen, and have a documentary playing, but that was possible because of the work our forefathers put in to put these records together. You see, when we have the Bible, it's the labor of our forefathers, and he's going to go into it. It was inspired by Yahweh Shema Shah. They was moved in the spirit, as it says in, let me get that real quick, and then we'll get that. This is, I believe this is 2 Peter 1 and 19. It says, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto you do well that you take heed, as some unto a light that shineth in the dark place until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. We have a more sure word of prophecy in these times, man. when we fully understand these things, man. You know, and you had particular men that played a major part in us being able to understand these things. The Spirit used those men to do so. Okay, because all glory goes to Yahweh Bashem Shai, you know, and we reverence those men that he used and that labored. It says, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of the Most High spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. Okay? And this man was moved, okay, by the Holy Spirit. You know, there's no doubt that this man was moved, okay, by the Holy Spirit. You see? To do the things, okay, that he was doing. Okay? Boy, you can't make it up, man. You know? All right. So going back into it. So I want to get this account, all right, dealing, you know, with our forefathers going into, you know, the things they had to do to abridge, okay? Okay, when you abridge something, that means you take a vast, you know, pretty much vast records, and you go through them, and you get the most important parts, and you summarize, but you still have it very detailed, you know? Remember, they doing this with scrolls. You see, our forefather had scrolls. Do you understand the labor that it took to have this Bible that we have today, this word, the way it, you know? It's 2 Maccabees 2, and I started at 19. It says, now it's concerning Judas Maccabeus and his brethren in the purification of the great temple and the dedication of the altar and the war against Antiochus Epiphanes and Eupator his son, and the manifest signs that came from heaven unto those that behaved themselves manfully to their honor for Judaism, all right, for Judah, all right. It says, so that being but a few, they overcame the whole country and chased barbarous multitudes and received again the temple, renowned all over the world, and freed the city and held the laws which were going down, the Lord being gracious unto them with all favor. All these things I say, being declared by Jason of Syrian in 5 books, we will essay, okay, to abridge in 1 volume. So it took 5 books, and you know, and these were scrolls, and hey, okay, things had to be rewritten. You see, and it says, for considering the infinite number and the difficulty which they find that desire to look into the narrations of the story for the variety of the matter. So they were like, you know, it was hard to really go into those stories of what happened, you know, during the time of the Maccabees, okay? It was hard to really go into the story because it was so much, you know, written and recorded, okay? So they embarked on the labor to abridge it and make it concise, okay? It says, wherefore, being careful that they that will read may have delight, and they that are desirous to commit to memory might have ease, and that all into whose hands it comes might have profit. Therefore, to us that have taken upon us this painful labor of abridging, it was not easy, but a matter of sweat and watching, even as it is no ease unto him that prepared a banquet and seeketh the benefit of others, yet for the pleasuring of many, we will undertake gladly this great pain. You see the mindset of our forefathers? You know, they compared to like making a buffet. Okay? Their mindset was like, what, whoever's going to come after, they're going to have a desire and it's going to profit them in reading this in the way that we're finna put it together. So we'll gladly undertake this labor, you know, for the sake of those that's going to be after. Okay? And we don't even know the men name that did this, man. We're going to know, and you best believe they have great rewards. We don't know all the men that was there laboring in their room, toiling, man. Okay? Because it wasn't about being popular or famous, man. Okay? It was about doing what needed to be done. Verse 28, it said, leaving to the author the exact handling of every particular and laboring to follow the rules of an abridgment, for the manner of a builder of a new house must care for the whole building. Okay? And we're that building. You know, these men that labor, they had to care for the building, for the people, for the believers. Okay? For their people, man. And it says, but he that undertaketh to set it out and paint it must seek out fit things for the adorning thereof. Even so, I think it is with us to stand upon every point and go over things at large, and to be curious in particulars. To be curious in particulars belonging to the first author of the story, but to use brevity and avoid much laboring of the work is to be granted to him that will make an abridgment. Here then we will begin the story, only adding thus much as to that which have been said, that is a foolish thing to make a long prologue and to be short in the story itself. Okay? So that was the mindset of our forefathers, man. You know, they labor for the generation to come. You know, just as our elders did, man. And our elders, all right, have done and are doing, man. You know? And we give that reverence. Now, I want to get this account. Okay, now, this is when David found out that Saul had died, you know, and he still had reverence. You got to understand, there was a time when Saul, you know, treated David like a son, you know, and and you got to understand, Jonathan, you know, when King David was probably like 15, Jonathan was 30. So Saul, you know, was up in age, and that was his elder. You know, that was, you see, that was his king. That was David's elder. So there was a certain way, a certain reverence that he had. That's why he couldn't just, you know, deal with Saul in a certain way, man. You know, that was king, you know, it was his elder, man. You see, it was certain reverence that he had, no matter, you know, the thing they had going on, man, it was still a certain reverence. And even when King Saul had died, you know, David, you know, had this to say. And this is 2 Samuel, all right, 1, okay. In 17, 2 Samuel 1:17 says, and David lamented with this lamentation over Saul and over Jonathan, his son. Also, he bade them teach the children of Judah, all right, the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Asher. All right, now it says, the beauty of Israel is slain upon the high places. How are the mighty fallen? Tell it not in Gath, publish it not in the streets of Ashkelon. Let the daughters, lest the daughters of the Philistines rejoice, lest the daughters of the uncircumcised triumph. Ye mountains of Gilboa, let there be no dew, neither let there be rain upon you, nor fields of offerings, for there the shield of mighty men is vilely cast away, the shield of Saul, as though he had not been anointed with oil. From the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan turned not back, and the sword of Saul returned not empty. He's praising, you know, the labor that they put in as warriors, man, for Israel, man. Because Saul, you know, he was a great warrior as well. You know, David was greater through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, but Saul was a great warrior as well. He was putting on, you know, as well. You know, he was a warrior, you know, probably before, you know, David was born. Like, he probably was going to war with the Philistines before David was born. Okay? And David is referencing that, man. You see? It says Saul and Jonathan were lowly and pleasant in their lives, and it says in their death, they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles. They were stronger than lions. Ye daughters of Israel, weep over Saul, who clothe you in scarlets, with other delights, who put on ornaments of gold upon your apparel. Yeah, because when Saul, when you will win war, you will bring back the spoils. So David, like, look, you remember how Saul put on, you know, these ornaments and these, you know, these delights and these different things you enjoy. Saul played a part in it by winning wars, man. You know, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, and he went off, okay, he was tripping in his older age, and, you know, Saul is a, you know, a different, you know, he's different than the high priest Ariah. Because we know the Lord is going to have mercy on high priest Ariah, man. You know? But the mindset that King David had, you know, towards even King Saul. You know, Saul was off and the Lord, you know, wasn't dealing with him. Okay? we understand it's a different, you know, situation. And that's another thing. The Lord going to have mercy on whom he want to have mercy, man. You know, he's going to have mercy on whom he's going to have mercy, man. And High Priest Ariah, okay, he has a great throne, man. You know, and we believe that, okay, he has a great throne, all right, that he's going to sit on, all right, amongst these other great men. Okay, he's going to take his place, all right, amongst great men of our nation, man. And we fully believe that, man. You know? So, you know, Lord will, you was edified. You know, I just want to bring that out. You know, I don't have a lot to say because we didn't, you know, I say y'all, you know, got turbans older than most of us, man. You know, come on, man. All right, so Lord will, you brothers and you few sisters edified. Till the next time I say shalom. Kwam Yashala Baba Bal DTA soon. Shalom.